Hi, Grandpa Jim here. Parshas Shemos. It's the book of Shemos and the parsha. Just like we had the book of Bereshit, Genesis, and the parsha of Genesis. So, Shemos means shemot, names. Shem, shemot. And it's the book of names. Funny way to start a book. Book of names. Anyway, it's been a bestseller throughout history, so I guess it's all right. So the book of names and the parsha of names. Names are important. There are three reasons that the Jews merited to be redeemed from Mitzrayim, from Egypt. One, they kept their clothing. Their modest clothing, while the Egyptians were all running around in bikinis. Number two, they kept their language, which has an effect on a person, which language he's speaking. And thirdly, they kept their names. There were no Henrys, no Bartholomews, no Madisons or Mackenzies, or Sallys or Joe. Well, Joes, yeah. So, they kept their names, and therefore they were merited to be redeemed. So, since we are talking about a people who kept their names, in the first book, the second book of the Tanakh, of the Chumash, this is a strange story that I'm about to read to you. Speaking of names. Tell me about, when I get done reading, tell me about names. A man went from the house of Levi, and he took a daughter of Levi. The woman conceived, and she gave birth to a son. She saw that he was good, and she hid him for 3 months. She could not hide him any longer, so she took for him a wicker basket, and smeared it with clay and pitch. She placed the child into it, and placed it among the reeds at the bank of the river. His sister stationed herself at a distance to know what would be done with him. Paro's daughter went down to bathe by the river, and her maidens walked along the river. She saw the basket among the reeds, and she sent her maidservant, and she took it. She opened it and saw him, the child, and behold, a youth who was crying. She took pity on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrew boys." His sister said to Paro's daughter, "Shall I go and summon for you a wet nurse," that's a nursing mother, "from the Hebrew women who will nurse the boy for you?" And she said, "Go." She went and got her mother. Okay. What's weird about this? No names. There's the name of Levi, but it's from the house of Levi. Levi is already dead for a while. And it mentions Paro, but Paro is not a name. Paro is king. King. They had names like Tutankhamen. Paro Tutankhamen. A very uncommon name. So, a man went from the house of Levi. The man's name is, who was Moshe's father? Amram. And he took a daughter of Levi. Who's his wife, the mother of Moshe? The name should be familiar to you guys. Yocheved. And the woman, that's Yocheved, conceived and gave birth to a son, and the son's name is Moses! Moshe! Although he had a bunch of other names too. She saw that he was good, and she hid him for 3 months. When she couldn't find him any longer, she took for him a wicker basket, smeared it with clay and pitch. She placed the child into it, and placed it among the reeds at the bank of the river. His sister stationed herself. His sister. Who's the sister of Moshe? Miriam. She stationed herself at a distance to know what would be done with him. Paro's daughter went down to bathe by the river with Paro's daughter. Her name is Batya, or Basya, a righteous person. Went down to the river, and she saw the basket, and she opened it up and saw the child, Moshe. Okay, now, I happen to have some coloring pages that I've sent along if you want to do any of these. Well, you can do this whole story with your friends. Amaze them with your knowledge. So the first picture is Amram. Great people. And then there's Yocheved, his wife, the mother of Moshe. Not all the pictures are so good. And then there's the picture of Yocheved in her 1950s TV dress with Moshe in a basket. It looks like she's about to put him in the oven, doesn't it? We're having roast Moshe tonight. Now she's got him in the basket and she's going to stick him in the water. And then Miriam, the sister, his older sister, follows along to see what will become of him. Okay. So she sees, here's Basya. Actually, her arm is supposed to stand way out into the water and get the basket and bring it back. And she finds this little Moshe there. But look at this. There's Miriam, keeping an eye on things. And then Miriam comes up to Paro's daughter and says, do you want I should go and get a wet nurse from the Hebrew women? Not telling her, I'll go get his mother. Yeah, that's right. Here, take this baby and give it to her. Everybody comes along to complain. The police come by and just say, Paro's daughter, can't trouble us. So, names. Usually I'll give you an answer. This time I'm going to ask you a question. See if you can find out why is it that in this opening paragraph of the story of Moshe, it doesn't mention any names. I'll tell you one thing. It says in Mishle, in Proverbs, Tov Shem min Shemen Tov, V'yom hamavet miyom hevalado. That a good name is better than oil, and the day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth. So, see if you can find out why that is. Now, I know that ain't magic, ain't Torah, so I have a magic trick for you today. This is a banana or a bottle. It's May Sota. And I gotta push this back so you can see the whole show. Okay, so there's the bottle. And now I'm gonna put into it a nice big fat fava bean, also known as ful, or in English, broad bean. Put it right in there. I ate it with some fava beans and a good kiani, whatever that means. And then we'll put the top on. Don't want it to fall out. Okay, and now I put this cloth over because magicians always have to hide what they're doing. Otherwise, you'd see what they're doing and you'd say, oh, there's no magic. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, flip it over, and the bean is gone. See? Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not gone. I did something wrong here. Okay? Stepping on that. Excuse me. All right. 1, 2, 3, and abracadabra, the bean is gone. Oh, maybe I got it scrunched up in here. No. Still got the cap on. Where did the bean go? Hey, look behind you. Right, we're going to have to do something here to make the bean come back. I think we need our magic cloth again. And 1, 2, 3, and there it is. How do you think I did it? How did I make the bean go in and then out? And that back in again. Something must be unusual. Something has to be a little bit different. Think about it. Love you all. Shabbat shalom.